The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host, the koala bear of Wall Street, David White. And as always, from 2 to 3 Eastern Time on most of TFNN.com, we bring this show to you. Hope everybody's having a good and safe and wonderful day as we look at the markets themselves. Just when I looked, wasn't a whole lot going on. Up 1 point on the S&P cash. We did go and touch 1900 on the S&P. Later we'll have an anatomically correct doll, and we'll show you exactly where it touched it. But anyway, it's 1.8 billion shares on the New York Stock Exchange tape. And what can you say? Not a lot of volume. No surprises here. I am under the opinion that pretty much what we've had is a market that is pushed up for expiration week and to get some dubious IPOs out the door this week. We've got 9 scheduled. I think 1 dropped out this morning, but they are still not done pushing paper. And I think a lot of what we have here today is other people's money propping up a market, so Wall Street's IPO machine can kick out a lot of cash. The question is whether or not they're going to be able to hold this thing up through the Alibaba IPO. And I know by hook or crook they're going to try. The question is, can they suck that much money out of the market without it cracking first? Because this is going to be one of the big ones, kind of like Facebook, some of the other issues out here facing a marketplace like that. Anyway, I hope everybody is doing well today. I appreciate each and every one of my listeners, except those that send me nasty emails. You are not appreciated. And I haven't had my hate mail this week, so I probably shouldn't have brought it up. You never know. We've got a market that is interesting nonetheless, but we'll watch it. 1.8 billion shares doesn't really do a lot. 1 point up on the S&P cash, probably driving some people batty. But we will persevere. And, of course, trying to branch out from digressing and also mixing metaphors. And we'll try to persevere. Maybe we'll win some awards for that this year. Today in history, in 1999, Barbie goes high-tech as Mattel Incorporated acquires the Learning Company, a maker of educational software, for $3.5 billion. If I remember right, this was the baby Einstein and all that. If I remember right, Barbie should have just stayed in front of the bathroom mirror. By year-end, Mattel has taken a $342 million restructuring charges resulting from the acquisitions. After only 16 months, Mattel sells the Learning Company to Gore's Technology Group for no cash up front, the assumption of all its debts, and an undisclosed percentage of future profits, if there ever are any. But I did some studies on it, probably, I think, 1995. We were, as a company, getting ready to go public. They wanted to know what they wanted to do with it. After going through a great deal of technology companies and acquisitions, about 1 of 10 out of them actually ever paid off. I don't know if that number has changed in the last 19 years, but for me, I thought that there were a great many reasons why acquisitions, especially in technology, in things like movie making, the creative aspects of business, just don't do well. And maybe it's because you need to be Don Draper and drunk all the time, beating your wife and cheating on her. That's Mad Men. But it is tough, I think, for those kind of creative people, more in the technical end of businesses, to ever get along. And maybe we should have hired, what's his name? Can't we just get along? I forgot his name already. All that stuff is fleeting anyway. But what else do we have going on out here? We looked at the numbers that came out today from the Census Bureau, and we have one thing to say about that, and that is, yes, they were wimpy. We were up 0.1%. Rodney King, thank you. And can't we all just get along? But wimpy. Of course, they had forecast something else. No, and they weren't hefty. They were wimpy. And that 0.1% didn't do much for anybody. And, of course, that's on the advanced estimate of U.S. retail and food services sales. For April, the weather broke. Business should have been inundated, and it was not. Same kind of thing when we go over to China, start looking at the business over there. When we look at it, the numbers again were, yes, they were wimpy. And pretty much say exactly what we know from the Bank of America, their Chinese research group. Basically, it's B of A and Global Research and some other company. They're all involved. It's a cabal, I tell you, a cabal. You don't get to use cabal enough in daily language in America. But I'll bring it in now. I'll have to bring in cabal once to every show this week. But anyway, what we saw was numbers pretty much saying that growth is continuing to slow in China also. And the market did have a little pop, but not a lot of juice behind it. So we will continue to see something like what we've seen today, which I think is just going to kind of go sideways for a while. So not a lot of juice, not a lot of reason to go higher out here. And keep a close eye on that S&P cash number and the volume just to tell us if there's anything there. MF Global, a story that's close to folk here at TFNN, kind of tracking it. And lawyers for the defunct brokerage, the MF Global on Monday, asked the U.S. bankruptcy judge to impose procedures to limit the amount of legal fees. And basically what we have is John Corzine has figured out that there's some additional cash that's going to be left over. And he's got his lawyers doing a lot of the stuff that may be, at least the way I read it, may be personal in nature instead of professional in nature. And especially what he did in the last 30 days of MF Global going broke. He's already sold several of his properties before lawsuits could be filed, especially where they'd be easily taken. I think he sold a New York and a New Jersey home. He had 5 homes. He sold a few of them. Probably going to hide out in states where it's going to be a little easier for him to do that. Of course, a lot of discussion on why he wasn't in jail to begin with, but I guess he knew where all the bodies were buried. Maybe it was a house of cards kind of thing. Maybe he had all the dirt that he needed on somebody else. But it is interesting. Anyway, the lawyer for MF Global said insiders have dragged the cases out, making no effort to streamline discovery and objecting to cost reduction proposals such as deactivating computer systems that are no longer needed because, of course, their doors are shut. So they're basically trying to, as still the heads and CEO of a company going bankrupt, still trying to pass some cash around to friendly lawyers and lawyer companies and people in the different businesses. If you can control that money and there's enough of it, you can get some favors down the road. But you didn't expect anything more from John Corzine, did you? You didn't think that he was going to come back out and say something nice like, I'm sorry, so sorry. Nope, he not saying sorry. basically hoarding his cash, and after getting away with trying to send a bunch of money offshore, hide it for himself in England, and getting caught, I guess all that money has come back. For the most part, people are going to that had accounts there are going to get their cash back, but it is slow. They are just getting ready now, from my understanding, to start sending out additional money that wasn't already insured by the government. So, I digress. High-frequency and automated trading, we saw the first actual testimony on the Hill today, and this was by the Agricultural Committee. And I forget the gal's name that's running the committee, but this was in the Senate. This is where the big boys play. They had 3 people giving testimony, but they all had a vote, and so after about 50 minutes, ran out the door, exit stage left. But at least we had the first people commenting on high-frequency trading and how it's affecting futures, mostly because the Agricultural Committee has that as their bailiwick. But we had the director of the Division of Market Oversight from the CFTC, Terrence Duffy from the CME Group, and Kerlinko, a professor of practice at finance at MIT Sloan School of Management, giving testimony. Not a lot in there, a few standard questions. Is the market rigged? What do we need to do? And they did kind of a drive-by of it. And the question is whether or not this is going to go any farther. But at least we've got the first little testimony on whether it's okay to steal money if it's very tiny amount over a given time instead of just stealing a whole lot of money from you at once. I think you know where I sit on that side of the market. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. 877-927-6648. What else do we have? When we talk about Google, that is the new word in at least Europe and around Google is ephemeral, and that means literally lasting one day only. The European Union Court of Justice on Tuesday ruled that individuals can ask Google Incorporated to remove links to news articles, court judgments, and other documents in search results for their name. Basically, they want the right to be forgotten. Unclear on how this is really going to affect Google. The court specifically said, however, that companies can't get out of compliance simply by saying their servers are outside of Europe. So even if they don't do business there, it's going to be interesting. We've got some emails, and we'll be back. Oh, I got some email, I think. We'll be back in just a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different future contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a free 2-week trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the signal box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And as we come back, Yelp basically announced that they're going after some of the other companies in reservations for that. And, of course, Open Table having a little bit of reaction today. We'll look at the chart here in a little bit. But companies trying to get out of what may be a losing proposition for them, and that is reviews from a lot of these places. The problem has been, how do you make sure that people that are giving reviews on the site about a restaurant or a movie theater aren't just the competition sliming them from afar? Of course, Yelp bought a company called SeatMe, and now they're offering it for free, which, of course, is beating up on Open Table and some of the others, and we'll get to looking at them. A couple of emails out here. Love the garbage bag reference. Appropriate for earnings reports from Dustin, who doesn't tell me where he's from. Rich says, "Why are you going to talk about how my trades are going?" And I basically covered my trades yesterday for the short positions, and think that we're probably going to go sideways up here for about another week, maybe a little longer. But I'm thinking we're probably going to hold up here for another week. I don't see a lot of room for the upside. Certainly we don't see that kind of energy today. But I think I covered it a little bit earlier. I think we're going sideways as they kick these IPOs out the door this week. No reason to let some of my put positions wither on the vine for 7 days, so I went ahead and covered them. And I actually added one long position today. I think that there is going to be a good opportunity in a few of these stocks that are super high short interest rate to get some short squeezes out of them during this week, and I went and played one. But we're going to go through those charts later in the show. So I thank everybody that emails me and listens to the show. I'm wondering if you have any recommendations for dividend play or REIT ETF for a small part of 401k. Yeah, I'll think about that. Pradeep asked me, and of course, Pradeep doesn't tell me where he's emailing from either. So you can always give me a call, 877-927-6648, 877-927-6648. You can post a message in the den, or you can email me at path@tfnn.com. So, what can you say? Today's company, that's it for the snooze. As always, when news breaks, we try to fix it here at TFNN and cover it. But I was looking at Booz Allen here, BAH. This is the company that took the smackdown on the Snowden thing. I just happened to look at them today. Looks like they're getting awful high on the last ABC or the end of this ABC up. And BAH is that symbol. But not a lot of energy in this last leg. It just happened to run across that. One of the other things I wanted to look at was scans and date modified. Are the high short interest stocks? And if you want a list of these after the show, I'll be glad to email them to you. I actually did a spreadsheet of them. And this is what we're going to be looking at in the second half of the show. I don't know how well this is going to show up. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. View, zoom. Let's go 200% here. Maybe, that should look a little bit better. We got a lot of stocks with some massive short interest. We're going to try to go through some of these. And why I don't think that the market's going to go much higher. And for the most part, it's going to be boring. I think that there are some opportunities why the market goes sideways to have some of these come out with probably dubious or bogus news, but also have some good and sharp and big short squeezes probably over the next 7 trading days, maybe 5 trading days, basically into next Tuesday, where I think this market is probably going to roll over. But we're going to continue thinking that if we have days like this, which we're up 0.9 of 1 point on the S&P cash with 1.9 billion shares. There just isn't a whole lot of money to be made on the bull side or the bear side of the general market, but maybe on some of these individual stocks. So we'll be back after the break. Again, you can give me a call, 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com or post a message in the den. Be back in a minute.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back, and I've got a message here, so let's check it out here. Okay. We will do that. I've got a message from the engineer, and we'll do it as soon as the show's over. Maybe the next break. I guess I've got plenty of time. We were talking when we left about probably the only money to be made in this market. Doesn't seem to be a great deal on a lot of fronts. But what do we have? Gold off $1.80, silver flat, crude up 92 cents. Pretty boring market for the most part, but there are some stocks that are moving. And one of the things that you can count on is if a market goes sideways for a while or just slightly up, that you can get some short squeeze started. And, of course, there's no end to the amount of phony rumors and news that can start those. So I want to go through some of the stocks that have the most high short interest. And some of these are actually up at these highs. But if you're looking for plays that may last a day or two this week, we should be probably looking at some of these. And, see if I can get this thing to come back over here, get all this stuff actually taken care of. Okay. So Amtrust Financial. Okay, it's on the NASDAQ. It's got a 33% short interest. That means one of every 3 shares in the float will have to be bought back eventually at some time. Maybe the stock goes out of business. They still have to buy it. I guess they don't. They changed that law, but unless you want to wait around till it totally goes belly up. Not saying this particular company will, but you can make a pretty good case out here. Well, had some fairly decent high volume yesterday, and you'd want to be watching these probably fairly closely. The one thing you did have was higher volume a couple of times up here than the previous high. The August 15th high was $44.66, with 660,000 shares. So what we have here is this thing just at that high with a million shares on the 2nd, 1.2 million shares on the 5th, and you got a bunch of days out here that are dojis going flat. A little higher yesterday with 1 million shares, 500,000 shares today. But this is one you probably want to, if you are day trading out here, you would want to watch, because when these things start moving and they start running them, if it does happen, that will be it. Some of the ones I don't like are Angie's List, 35% short interest. The question is whether this thing is going to get defended here at $10 to keep it from being taken out of a lot of funds. Let's see if we have a little longer time frame on this thing. Actually did get down to $8.94 on September 6th. This thing has been an IPO, a troubled IPO, one that I warned everybody about, mostly because it had, what would I say? I would say that it had problems in the fact that it had been in business for, 12 or 15 years and never made a dime to begin with. So I'd probably stay away from trying to get a short squeeze on something like that. Aerospatiale, ARO, these companies are down here in the range where you'd have to think it is problematic to have a 31% short interest on a stock that's trading out at $4.50, and it is that. But going sideways out here, doing a little consolidation. But again, these are some of the ones that you may want to come out and put an alarm on intraday in case there are news on this. And again, the market stays flat out here. Bon-Ton Stores, B-O-N-T, 34% short interest on this thing. This actually doesn't look too bad. It's consolidating. It hasn't really had the kind of short squeeze move, but volume very light here. And this is what you want to be watching in these stocks. I actually have dropped all of these in and going to be watching it. But this is the kind of the perfect conditions, especially going into the Memorial Day weekend. A lot of times you'll get a slow move up, and that slow move up eventually will get a lot of these shorts to bolt, and you'll get one or two really good days of moving these markets up. BioReference Labs, another one out here, very light volume. I don't know much about that one. Call, Vocal Tech Communications. This one's at a fairly decent support level. A lot of down volume today. Call has a 40% short interest level on this thing. You did have higher volume today, so that would probably negate playing that one. Let's look at other ones out here. And Kim Ed Corporation. Well, this one's already had a little bit, some decent volume yesterday. Kim Ed is 36% short. Kind of looks like an ABC down out of here. Not a lot of volume in this one, but I'd probably stay away from that. CLF. Boy, this one's awful close to coming to support. Of course, Cliffs Natural Resources coming in with a 33% short interest rate from the last reported effort. I would love, this one actually doesn't look too bad, and you'd want to take a look at it, but I don't know what kind of news would get Cliffs moving. You need a stock that's a lot harder to prove some bogus story to squeeze the shorts out. But this thing certainly did give a buy signal. You had 12 million shares on March 10th at $7.40. Went to 1701 with 7.6 million shares. It's closed back into the trading range. So, unfortunately, to me, I think there's a lot of people still willing to sell this. And, $2 is probably not a huge short squeeze in something like this. One that probably has already seen most of its short squeeze is cons, kind of like a Best Buy company. They had earnings come out just horrifically bad. And, of course, it had a little test of the low out here on March 14th from its 25 million share low at $31.88 off that huge gap down. But it is problematic at the best to look at that one. We'll find a couple in here as we go through. At least what you'll know is to not be spending a lot of time thinking about shorting these stocks already. Now, here's one of the ones that I've found most interesting. I know a lot of people in the den follow these bulk shippers. And Eagle bulk shippers, 32% short interest rate. And pretty much down here, I guess I'm probably going to need to find out a little bit more about this one. But this going back into a heavy volume days, or a couple of heavy volume days. The one I'm looking at is the September 10th low at $2.78, 3.4 million shares. You tag that 4 cents shy on April 30th, but just 1.6 million shares. Try to get back into it with a low of $2.83. So you still haven't really tagged it, but by pretty much within a nickel out here and a couple of days sideways. But I'd be looking at Eagle and maybe some of these other shippers out here. A sector that I've loved to hate, ESI out here, is one of these for-profit educational companies. Of course, perennial short because everybody thinks this one is going to go belly up, and not so much as any other stock. ITT Educational right now of the float is the winner, 65.52% short interest on ITT. Now, I'd be watching this. If they do come out with a bogus news story, probably going to be after hours and be hard to trade. My guess is they'll try to gap this up one morning and catch a bunch of people and sell the stock out to people that are problematic. At least that's been the history of this particular sector. But maybe you get some story during the day. But I'd certainly be watching that when more than one out of every other two stocks will have to be repurchased probably at some point. GDP, Goodrich Petroleum Company. You would think that other companies would not be as short. But boy, I guess the market hates this company. GDP is almost 50% short interest in this stock. And you could make a case this thing's doing an ABC up. I would have liked to seen some volume. You saw a huge short squeeze on this thing on the gap up on the 14th of April. And it's kind of coming back into that. But maybe if this one could come back a little bit, you might be watching it. Of course, short squeeze are one of these trades where you want to take your money and run. There's a reason why these stocks tend to be rather hated. Innivensense, is that how it's pronounced? Let me find. Yeah, 35% short interest. This one has this high volume down day that you'd want to see tested out here on May 2nd, $18.04, 12 million shares. Really coming into that with light volume out here. Again, this would be one stocks you want to look at a little more closely. And we do have, I think we do have somebody out here. Here's AOU looking for bottom fishing. AUY. I tell you what, the stock looks broke to me. I just don't understand. I just don't understand trying to go long it. I want this thing to bounce and then come back and test whatever lows we have out here. I see the volume is kind of petering out down here. I don't understand the trade. I don't understand. There's much better gold companies out here. Too much of a gamble for me, but I haven't been watching it closely. What else do we want to look at? JACK, J-A-K-K, JACK Pacific. And what do we have on that one? 41% short interest on this. And it's going back up here and looks like it's going to fill the gap a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if this could get into the $10 range without much problem. And again, I don't know a lot about JACK Pacific. Sounds like a retail operation. What is it? Consumer products in the traditional toys and electronics, novelty and seasonal toys. This thing came down on monstrous hard volume. Hasn't ever really tested the low, so they're probably better fish in the sea for looking for short squeezes, but it certainly is one of these. KWK, Quicksilver Resources. Now, when we talk about maybe making some of these plays out here, this one would be one I'm looking at. 38% short interest. I know everybody likes Quicksilver. Let's make sure about what they do. Independent oil and gas company engaged in acquisition, development, production, and sale of natural gas. And kind of hard to see this thing down here. You'd love for this thing to come back down and test this $2.34 low from a couple of days ago. But huge move out here. And maybe that was a little bit of that short squeeze in some of these stocks, 40-cent move and a $2.40 stock. Probably one that you want to keep an eye on out here. Kind of interesting to see that movement out here. LNN is Lindsay Corporation. It's got a 37% short interest. I don't see a lot in this chart other than coming down on light volume today. You had three advancing soldiers out here that went sideways for a while. It's coming back. Maybe if you could get this thing around $82 from the sign of strength out here on the 26th, it would be interesting. Let's see. Go back here and check my email real quick. Okay. Okay. So what else do we have? Oh, LQDT, Liquidity Services. This one's really looking ugly out here. It did come down on monstrously hard volume, kind of coming up the last 3 days on lighter volume. This isn't that far away from $12 that if we had just one bad day, we could conceivably see this thing come down to that $12 level on lighter volume, $12.05. This one, LQD, let's take a look. 35% short interest. Okay. Genetics. Myrid Genetics. This one is 52% short interest, so I'd be watching the IBB and whether or not this thing can move at all, but not a bad-looking chart back out here. This thing had a huge gap up. It's filled that gap up. The gap up happened, 7.5 million shares on, what is that date up here? 2nd of April. But that's pretty nice volume in those 2 days. This thing's come back down 2.1 million shares a couple of days ago. Kind of a light volume dojis out here. This is another one of these things that look like it could probably go to $3-4 fairly quickly. Probably too much of a risk for me in the genetics field. Anyway, we will be coming back in just a minute. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can post a message in the den, and you can email me. Still have time at path, P-A-T-H, at TFNN.com.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Join Andy Hecht as he teaches you how to make money in commodities. The Commodities Hour, next on TFNN.
Well, we've got Andy warming up in the bullpen. I was doing a little IMing to him during the break. Had a couple of questions in the den. First one is from Roger from Mount Vernon. What do you think on Apple? I'm confused. Could see a target of $505, and don't know exactly where he's getting that from. Maybe you should send me a copy of the chart, and I can see where you're coming from. It gapped up. It gapped up with a heavy volume. You needed 15 million shares to break through the previous high at 575. You had 23 million shares, which gives you a temporary move back up here to the high. I think this thing's going to come back and test probably 575, 550. But my guess right now is the one stock that they can't afford to have fail is Apple. It would bring down the entire Apple cart. And right now we're seeing a lot of financial engineering by Apple and the street to make sure that hold this thing up. And the question is, are they going to push it till the Alibaba IPO, or is it going to crack sooner? But nothing's really definitively changed. This thing's pretty much getting ready to finish its last ABC up. But I don't see a lot of stuff in it. I just think maybe you're a week or 10 days before the next move down for Apple. But we'll look at it. Got another email from Nancy. Doesn't tell me where she's from. Maybe she's from the moon. We'll have to just guess. Anyway, Nancy says she's long GAT. And we've talked about this particular stock, what it probably had to be about 4 weeks ago, maybe, talking to John from Philadelphia when he called in. This company makes ovens to make sapphire ingots. Those sapphire ingots are used for making LED lighting. You actually can't put LEDs or light-emitting diodes on silicon because it has to get too hot. Silicon, when the LEDs actually cool, will break the silicon, so you need something a lot tougher. These sapphire ingots are used for LED lighting. They're also used for a variety of other things. And, phonograph styluses used to be. But what they do is make these ovens. Now, Apple, in its infinite wisdom, is trying to find something to compete with Samsung with their graphene displays. I think the graphene is going to be the way to go long term. But if you buy at a Rolex or one of those other high dollar watches, you would have to replace the crystal every once in a while. That crystal wasn't made out of sapphire. I think the last time I replaced mine, it was $300 and $400 for just that crystal, because it wasn't made out of glass. It was made out of a sapphire crystal. And all these new watches and the new faces from iPhones this fall are going to have those sapphire glass faces on them. A whole lot less breakable, a lot less scrapable than Corning's Gorilla Glass. But the problem is that I think Apple bought all the ovens they're ever going to need. My understanding was that the order was for enough to make 200 million a year. I mean, that's faces for iPhone 5s. So the question is, who else is going to come in and buy that many ovens to support a long-term outlook on GT Advanced Technologies? And my belief is they're not. I think that's it. I think the only thing you need to know about it is that they had one big sale. It went to Apple. The question is, are there any more people out there to buy more? Not too many, I don't think. Anyway, we will see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Hang on for Andy.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.